out of nothingness. And all that it would matter is the intensity of the field. Because if the intensity of the field is strong enough, and the interaction between these two parts is strong enough, matter would spontaneously appear, right? And then, of course, this field doesn't have to be held that long. According to the ether or this element, this could only be intense for 5 seconds. Whereas in this matter, billions and billions of things have happened that could be paired to. It would seem like this is an eternity of the way matter is interacting with this. So the idea is that you have matter field and an energy field of vacuum energy. They overlap. As in a chart, the energy levels go up in a cyclical fashion. As it goes up, particles are made. As those particles are made in sufficient quantities, there would be a large spread out of material that could start to form galaxies and other structures that we've seen. So my idea is there was no Big Bang. There was two energy fields. There was a spike in energy levels, which spontaneously created a reaction between two different types of energy fields. And I guess energy fields, the building blocks of atoms came together with a catalyst of dark energy or ether. No Big Bang, sorry, it doesn't. The James Webb Telescope shows galaxies the same size, if not more complex than ours at the very beginning. So it makes no sense to go with that anymore. Another thing, I think about 3D space. I don't think time is space. Like if you had 4D, what you're basically saying is 3D, but there's extra area to access. So in other words, 4D would be the same as 3D. There would be a driving factor moving things paired to events forward. But there would be extra space that would be part of our 3D realm. So in other words, you might see a way to go somewhere that you couldn't go before into a whole different area. And I would say that would kind of go for 5, 6, 7, etc. dimensions. We go about light's path from the atom to the bent space-time around the Earth, then directly from that to the edge of the universe. The attractive force out. And I guess this is a picture of space-time itself. This is an atom, and this is the sun. And they usually show like a rubber canvas that they drop a ball on, but it is a 3D. So you got this force that the sun sits in, right? And it's completely surrounded, and that's what that's showing. And this force around the atom is the same as the force, the 3D type of a space-time curve that the sun sits in. It's very similar. Like, that interaction is the reason why time exists, is the reason why matter has taken this permanent form. It's a lot of things. This space-time curve is the indication of that. It's the indication of why time exists. What do I got here? I guess the important facts: light, time, in the beginning. So we tried to go over that. As you can see, up on this diagram here, you got a picture of energy, and you got matter as a picture of energy, and they interact with each other, and that would create, with the attenuation of energy, it would create particles that could actually start to come together and form the things that we see. And it can be as simple as that. No need for any other explanation. It is strange that it is possible, since nothing is really real, like just because everything seems solid, and it seems that matter, from our perspective, is very solid, that an energy field, as long as a part of that energy field is more intense than another, you can't put your hand through it. Like water, it doesn't have the density, it doesn't have the field strength that you can't put your hand through it, and your hand stays together. Well, it could be a very big illusion. I guess I was thinking to myself, it's like you hear in science fiction, time and space are an illusion. What if, in actuality, that there was no space? Like it was just an illusion, the whole thing. Like you look out there and it looks like a star is 20,000 light years away, but actually it's not even at all distant away. Well, a lot of the math, if it's a holographic idea, like you're actually looking at things in an energy field, saying if you were in an energy field as we are, and it seems like that, like it's a matter of perspective. It's like relativity. Like you looks like that to you, but is that really true? Well, it could be as simple as if this was a sheet of space-time and matter was dots on that sheet, and a distant galaxy may be right next to you on that sheet. The only thing that might be different is the intensity. You know what I'm saying? Like the amplitude. Like if you could test with a meter, like, remember, like an amplitude can be 0 to infinity. So if this was a large number, it would seem like that part was inaccessible because of the energy intensity. If it was 0, it would be right next to you. I mean, this is a very far out idea, but it's quite a nice little reality considering if that's all you were in was something like this and you knew the facts. But like, to create an energy field that would seem like things were this far apart when they might not be at all, that's quite an undertaking. Energy fields interacting with each other. A very interesting thing to live in. And I must say that it's definitely a beautiful experience. Yeah, I guess in this reaction here, if in a reaction there are millions of steps in a relatively short period of time, like a chemical reaction in which many things happen, is just in a second, say a firecracker, it's example of our universe and reality to live in this form of chemical reaction. You are paired to the events you live in, and the consecutive events. You're locked in. So those events have to happen, those billions and billions of events. There is no way for you to get to the end. The quantum entanglement of this is the most important part, because if you could untangle yourself from it, everything would just basically disappear and run free. Well, this is a diagram here of our